Most people think their pain comes from what others did to them. But the truth, we get hurt when we are not ready to own our power. When we don't believe we are allowed to take up space, speak our truth, or choose ourselves. When we dim our light, when we are afraid to step into who we really are, we shrink, we stay quiet, we make ourselves small, and then we feel stuck, hurt, resentful, or even invisible. If you've been holding back from who you really are, this is your sign to step into the power, otzma, God created you to be. The version of you who stands tall, speaks with truth, and walks with purpose. Your power is not outside of you. It's been waiting for you to say yes to it. And the moment you choose to become your power, otzma, everything changes. If this hits home, go listen to this week's episode number 79. We go deeper there. And if you are ready to actually release the mental and emotional baggage that's keeping you stuck and overwhelmed, you can book a free clarity call with me. The link is in my bio. This podcast is for the soul who knows there is more, the one who's been carrying it all for far too long. If you're ready to let go of old stories, to stop replaying the past and start living from your truth, you're in the right place. This is your moment to release the noise and reconnect to what's real. Welcome to Baggage Begun, Healing Hearts and Minds. I'm Tammy Machmali. Hi there, it's Tammy Machmali here. Welcome back to Baggage Begun, Healing Hearts and Minds. I want to start by thanking you for being here with me today. Now that we have stepped into October, a month of change and renewal, I feel a fresh energy in the air. After that period of interception and celebration, it's the perfect time to move forward and release the mask and baggage we no longer need. Can you feel that too? So, on that note, let's dive into today's topic. In the spirit of the Halloween season, everyone's talking about costumes and masks, but I'm not talking about the fun kind with glitters or feathers. I'm talking about the real masks that we oftentimes wear in life. The ones we don't take off at the end of the night. These are the invisible masks that keep us looking strong, capable, and confident on the outside, even when inside we might be feeling scared, tired, and unsure. You know the ones I mean, the mask that says, I'm fine, the one that insists, I've got this, or the one that keeps smiling when inside you're just exhausted. And behind every one of those masks is a fear we have learned to hide. And let's be honest, especially for those of us who are entrepreneurs, healers, or coaches, we tend to wear this mask all the time. You know, the mask that says, the I've got it handled mask, the everything is fine mask, the I cannot afford to mess up mask. But here's the truth, your next level of success is not about doing more or pretending. It comes from being more real, more grounded, more you. So today we are going to peel back the hidden fears that keep those masks glued on and learn how to finally take them off, because underneath all of it is your truth, your power, your light. So take a deep breath with me. Ready? Let's go. The hidden masks of fear. Napoleon Hill, yes, the Think and Grow Rich guy, the one who wrote the book that a million people already read, talked about 6 basic fears that shape almost everything we do. The first one is fear of poverty. Second, fear of criticism. Third, fear of health. 4, fear of losing love. The 5th one is fear of getting old. And the 6th, fear of death. I like to think of these fears as masks. We put them on to protect ourselves, but they also end up hiding who we really are. Let's look at each of them together and see what's going on behind the scenes. Mask number 1, the mask of lack, fear of poverty. This first mask is rooted in the fear of not having enough. Can you relate? Especially the fear of poverty, lack, and loss. It's one of the most common one, and powerful fears out there. When we wear the mask of lack, it makes us play small. When we might settle for jobs we hate, stay in relationships that don't serve us, or make choices based on survival instincts instead of passion and purpose. We play small when we do that. You might notice this mask creeping in when you catch yourself thinking like, I would better stay at this job that drains me, my energy, and I hate, because what if I don't find anything else? Or I cannot invest in myself right now. What if I waste the money, time, and end up with nothing? I used to do that so many years. When this fear is running the show, we get stuck in not enough mode, believing there is never enough time, enough money to go around. And I want to invite you to ask yourself, where am I making decisions out of fear of losing money? What is my relationship with money? Do I see it as a helpful tool or as something to constantly worry about? If I trusted that I am always supported, what would I do differently? And take a moment and think about that. The mask of scarcity whispers little lies like, don't risk it, or what if you lose everything? It's that part of you that plays small. Staying in the secure but draining job, relationship, undercharging for your services, avoiding investing in your growth, having fun time, enjoying your life, all because the idea of losing money feels terrifying. But here's the thing, money is energy. It tends to flow where you trust yourself the most. And if you need more information about that, I'm pretty sure there is one podcast that I have about money and how you attract it through aligning your energy. Let me share a quick story. I had a client, a brilliant coach, who was afraid of raising her prices. She wore this exact mark. Deep down, she worries that if she charges more, her clients will leave. When we worked through that fear, when she finally learned to trust her value, trust herself, be okay, she tripled her income in 6 months. And she didn't have to hustle harder to do it. And she asked me, the thing you did with me in one session shifted everything. She did that. We worked together and she started shifting the energy, the mindset. That's what happened when you stop wearing the mask of scarcity and start believing in your own worth and support. Basically, believing your value. So here's my question for you. If you knew you were always supported, what bold action move would you make right now? Mask number 2, the mask of perfection. That comes from fear of what other people are going to say and think about you. Mask number 2 is all about the fear of criticism, the fear of being judged, laughed at, or rejected. I had this mask for the longest time because I remember when we moved from Iran to Israel, I was bullied. And from that time, I decided if I will be perfect, I'm not going to be criticized. And it's not true, because most times some people are going to like what we do and some people will not. This fear often hides behind perfectionism or procrastination. We don't take risks. We don't put ourselves out there. We don't share our gifts because we are terrified of what other people might say or think about us. I see this all the time. People are afraid to start a business, afraid to write their books, speak up in meetings, or even post on social media because they're worried about others' opinions. Maybe you were criticized a lot growing up. Maybe you were told you were not good enough or that you should play it safe. That kind of early criticism can stick with you in your subconscious mind and not let you move and take the action that you want, because over time that external voice becomes your own inner critic. And if you need guidance to clear the programming in your subconscious mind and reprogram it to what you want, please contact me. I would love to talk to you. I have a reflection question that you can write down and dig into it later. Where am I holding back because I'm afraid of being judged, criticized? Whose voice am I still hearing in my head that keeps me small? What dreams have I put on hold because of this fear? Even the awareness gonna open for you doors, to move forward. This one's sneaky. The fear of criticism often disguises itself as overthinking, endless tweaking, or trying to get everything just right. You may tell yourself you're not ready yet, or that you need more time or more credential, but deep down, it's that fear of judgment at work. And that's what I did. I used to write things and edit a million times and not share them. And today I know, just do it imperfectly and deliver it. Share it. So you might as well do your thing your way, be you. And just so you know, being confident is not the essence of criticism. It's a decision. It's you deciding to show up no matter what. The moment you stop performing and start being you, being real, following your values and whatever you like, people can feel it. That's the energy that you want to have. Your authentic self becomes magnetic. When you drop the mask of perfection and let people see the real you, this is really power. The right people will resonate with your message, with who you are, and you're gonna be the magnet that bring those people to you. And those who still criticize, they lose their power over you because you're no longer giving your power away to their opinions. Remember, done is better than perfect. We are moving to mask number 3. Mask number 3 comes from the fear of being sick. The fear that your body will fail you, that you will get sick, suffer, or become dependent on others. This is the mask of vulnerability, being fragile. When we start seeing ourselves as weak or on the verge of breaking, that's when we start over worrying about our health without apparent reasons, unless we have a reason. This fear oftentimes becomes an obsession with every little ache and pain. Maybe you know these people that when they have something, they think, oh my God, maybe it's a heart attack. I have a thing, maybe it's cancer. Maybe you find yourself in a loop with worst case scenarios whenever you don't feel well. You know, the times that we can catch ourselves going over the scenario, the worst case scenarios whenever you don't feel well. Consulting doctors, Google, now it's AI, consulting AI too much. Am I okay? Am I gonna die? Am I gonna get a heart attack? That used to be me. Convincing yourself that a headache is for sure a brain tumor. Or perhaps, those times you avoid going to a doctor because you're afraid of what you might hear. On the other hand, some people deal with this fear by ignoring their body's needs altogether, thinking if they don't pay attention, maybe nothing bad will happen. Reflecting the question here might be, how much of my mental energy is spent worrying about my health or my body? Am I actively creating health crises through positive choices or simply reacting out of fear of losing? How can I build more trust in my body and its ability to heal and support myself? This mask shows up when you start treating your body like a ticking time bomb. You worry about every fear, pain, every sign of stress. You might even believe that feeling exhausted or burnt out means you have somehow failed. But let me tell you, your body is not weak or fragile. It's really smart. If you listen to your body and you're gonna follow up, it's always communicating with you through sensations. Pain, fatigue, tension, those are messages to slow down, pay attention, get the message, not just inconveniences. When you are living in fear, your nervous system stays stuck in fight or flight mode. Remember that. Everything tightens up in your body. Your creativity shrinks when you do that. Your clarity fades away. It's hard to hear your intuition or feel inspired when your body is clenched, contracting in anxiety. So when you have these instances that your body is shrinking, pay attention, trying to deliver a message. And when you get the message, you will feel your body expanding, you feel better. And then you get the message that your energy trying to tell you. When you learn to calm your body, your mind can finally open up. So treat your body as an ally, not an enemy, not a stranger. Try to have this intimate connection with your body. Take care of yourself. Not only when you're sick, take care of yourself. Be consistent every day. Rest. Make sure you nourish yourself with good food, with exercise, movement, and sleep. Enough sleep is really important to be clear, to get messages, to connect to your intuition. I want you to accept your body as your business partner in this life. It's on your side. When you drop the mask of fragility, being fragile, being vulnerable, and start trusting your body's wisdom, you will discover a magical strength and resilience in yourself that you never knew was there. And that's really, really powerful. Mask number 4, the mask of attachment. The mask of fearing losing love, the fear of losing people, places, and things. This next mask runs deep. It's born from the fear of losing love, the fear of being rejected or abandoned by those you care about. When we wear the mask of attachment, we become people pleasers and overgivers. When we say yes, when our whole body screams no, we bend and comfort ourselves to be what we think others want us to be in order to be loved. Because deep down, we are terrified that if we don't, we will end up alone or unloved. Sounds familiar? I don't know about you. This is how I walked most of my life. Do you ever catch yourself constantly trying to keep the peace, people please, or avoid rocking the boat? Staying in a relationship or relationships that no longer healthy because the thought of being without that person or being alone is too painful to face. It makes you think you have to earn love or approval by sacrificing your time, your health, your needs, and your truth. I invite you to ask the question, where am I holding back my true thoughts or feelings because I fear losing someone's approval? In what situation do I say yes when I really want to say no? Whose love or validation am I afraid of losing if I show up as my most authentic self? The mask of attachment keeps you over apologizing, over accommodating, and overextending yourself. Especially I see it in entrepreneurs and coaches. They can wear it too. Maybe you're afraid to set firm boundaries with a client, or you hesitate to be bold in your field in writing your content because you don't want to turn anyone off. You're afraid of losing the audience, losing respect, losing that sense of being liked. I did that most of my life. But here's the truth. Real authentic relationship connection never asks you to be different or shrink. Any relationship, whatever it's personal or professional, that requires you to wear a mask is not truly aligned with your values, your highest good. Every time you honor your truth and you speak up about what you really feel, you can say no when you need to, stand firm in your boundaries, you straighten your energy field. You become authentic and you attract authentic people. You send out a signal that says, I value myself. I know my self-worth. And guess what? You start attracting people, places, things who meet you at that value. No more people who only love you when you are conforming to their needs and values. So I invite you to ask yourself, where am I trading authenticity for acceptance? Because that right there is where your next level of freedom begins. When you drop the mask of attachment, you reclaim your self-worth. You can become authentic. You realize the people who truly matter won't leave you just because you stop people-pleasing or you said no. In fact, the right people will appreciate and respect the real you even more. You're going to be a magnet for authentic people. And those people who do fall away, they were not meant for the real you anyway. I'm going to move to mask number 5, the mask of time, fear of aging or being too late. That's the mask I wore, I think, since I was a little girl. Always too late, thinking I need to do more because I was late, I'm too old. I don't know about you. Can you relate to that? Mask number 5 is the mask of time. It's rooted in the fear of aging, and the sneaky voice believes that it's too late. It's too late to do what you really want. This fear creeps in as the years pass, or even during any big life transition that makes you aware of the time. It's that nagging voice that time is running out. We are getting older. That means becoming irrelevant, weak, or invisible. We're going to disappear. People are going to forget about us. You might catch yourself saying things like, it's too late for me to change careers, or I'm too old to find love, or start a business, or go back to school. But let me tell you, those are just stories. They are narrative, beliefs, patterns that our society hands us about what certain ages are supposed to look like, and we do not have to buy into them. I have personally seen people in their 50s, 60s, even 70s that find love, start thriving businesses, and completely reinvent their life. I have seen a grandmother even become a first-time author at 75. I have seen retired accountant becomes a life coach at 65. Age is not the barrier. Our patterns, limiting beliefs about age are keeping us stuck, keeping us in the loop of stuckness, overwhelm, and procrastination. Here I invite you to ask, where am I limiting myself because of how old I am? What dreams or passions have I put on hold, on the shelf, because I believe it's too late to pursue them? And what if, just imagine, the best years of my life are actually still ahead of me? The energy shifts here. This mask whispers with a voice of regret. It's too late for me, too late to start over, too late to change, too late to shine. But listen, your purpose does not expire. There is no expiration date on your potential, on your essence, on your energy. I have worked with women and men in their 60s and 70s who launched new careers, wrote books, found love, and they were absolutely thriving. Try it. Just check your energy when you ask yourself these questions. What is more possible for me? And see, your heart expands. And remember, your age is not the block. Your self-doubt is, not believing in yourself is the block. There is no deadline, timeline on your destiny. So the question is not when, it's why not now? Why not me? And what's more possible? Just imagine that. Write your goals. Whatever is on your heart, whatever is calling to you, do not put it off. The moment you drop the mask of time, you gain the present moment. You open new doors for what's more possible. And the present is where all your power lies. And the present moment is where all your possibilities are. Right now. Our sixth and final mask is the mask of control, which comes from the deepest fear of all, the fear of death, or the fear of the unknown, that believes that time might run out before we are truly lived, loved, or created what we are here to do. It's the awareness of our mortality, and it can be pretty overwhelming if we look at that directly. For many people, this fear shows up as avoidance, procrastination, fragility. We don't want to think about life as a fragile thing, so we distract ourselves, we numb out with work, with mindless scrolling on our phones, with Netflix binges, I do that a lot, with staying constantly busy, anything to avoid facing those quiet moments where the big questions of life and death might pop up. But here's the paradox. There is actually a gift in this fear. The fear of death reminds us to live in the here and now. Live right now. Feel in the senses. Hear what you hear. See what you see. Enjoy the time right now. It urges us to make the most of the time we have right now. And here I invite you to ask, what am I putting off or avoiding because I assume I have plenty of time? If I knew I had only 1 year left to live, what would I stop worrying about right now? And what would I finally start doing? How can I live more fully today instead of waiting for someday? The fear of the unknown can make us cling so tightly to plans, to people, to outcomes, because we think if we just manage everything perfectly, we can prevent anything bad from happening. We think control equals safety, but let me tell you, control keeps us stuck, overwhelmed, and procrastinate. But the tighter we grip into control, the more exhausted, overwhelmed, and stuck we become. Remember, life is not meant to be controlled or perfect. It's meant to be co-created with God, with other people, the community, to share our gifts, our contribution. There is a dance between you and the universe, or God, spirit, whatever you call it, or you believe in it. When you loosen your hold and trust a bit more, you create space for miracles, what more possible? You let inspiration, synchronicity, and grace come in and do what you cannot force. Dropping this mask, the mask of control, doesn't mean you stop caring or give up on your goals, your dreams. Not at all. It means you stop white-knuckling through life and start collaborating with it. You dance with the world, with the universe. And that's when the magic happens. That's when you find yourself in the right place at the right time with the right people, when opportunities and help appear out of the blue, out of nowhere, when you feel guided by something greater than your fears and yourself, when you let go of your fear and you trust the universe with certainty. I invite you to take the masks. So we have identified a lot of masks. The big question is, how do we actually take them off? How do we peel away these layers of fear that have been covering our true selves? And I invite you to look at that as baggages that we carry from lifetimes ago, generations ago. And if you need guidance, I invite you to make a call. It's so easy and effortless and life-changing. When we release all this mental and emotional baggage, new energy opens up to be able to go through life easily and effortlessly. Here's what I've learned from working with hundreds of people through subconscious healing and energy work, through the hypnosis of the baggage began process. Every mask we wear once protected us. At some point in our life, putting on that mask kept us really safe. It helped you probably to survive, but now, moving forward, those same masks that once protected you are keeping you small. They are preventing you from growing into the amazing person you're meant to be. And it's also preventing you from sharing your gifts and contributions. The beautiful thing is, the moment you recognize the mask, you gain the power to remove it. Awareness is the first step and the most important step. When you can name it, you can tame it, you can get rid of it, you can let it go. Underneath each mask is your true self, the real you, who is confident, creative, clear, and powerful. When you drop the fear of judgment and start speaking your truth, when you drop the fear of lack, you open up to abundance. When you drop the fear of failing, you begin moving with ease and courage. Taking off the mask is not about becoming someone new. It's about shifting, remembering who you were before you felt like you had to hide. It's about coming home to yourself. It's about realizing that you are already enough. There is so much more possible. And remember, the moment we see these fears for what they are, they just old patterns inherited from lifetimes ago, generations ago, and maybe from our parents. We get to choose differently. We can stop letting fear decide for us. We can build a new self-image, one that is rooted in authentic belief in ourselves, in trust, in abundance, in the deep knowing that we are whole. We are far more powerful than any fear. That's where the true work begins. And that's what we do here together. We unpack the baggage, we clear it out, and we create space for the life you have meant to live. Remember, every fear you have been carrying once protected you. It's kept you safe in one point, but now it's time to let go. It's time to grow beyond it. If this episode spoke to you, if you're feeling that spark and you're ready to take off the mask that have been keeping you small, I would love to guide you through my Baggage Began process. We get to the root of those fears in your subconscious and we clear them out. Then we reprogram with the new things that you want so you can finally feel confident, clear, and truly unstoppable. You can book a free clarity call with me. There is a link in the show notes. No pressure, no obligation, just a deep dive into you. Because the moment you stop pretending, the world finally gets to meet the real unstoppable you. Until next time, please remember that you are very special. Share your gifts and be you. See you next week. If you're curious and want to dive deeper, you are in the right space. I ask you to look within for all the things that you want to do, be, and have. Join me at the Baggage Began Healing Hearts and Minds podcast with new episodes every Wednesday as we discover the path towards healing and transformation.